This program is proudly brought to you by Bianco Building Supplies, helping to build South Australian football.
Here we go. All right. Woo.
Good evening everyone, I'm Nat Adamopoulos and this is Full On Football, the only local TV show that promotes local South Australian football. Well, today is show 13 of season 3, unlucky for some but not for me because number 13 is my lucky number, so hopefully we'll have a great show. This week of course we had round 9 which marks the halfway mark of the season, so we're going to be looking at all the results, tables and fixtures of all the 3 men's leagues. We took some footage at one of the Super League games, and we'll also be looking at the historical achievement of Adelaide United getting into the quarterfinals of the AFC ACL. And we're also, on this occasion, I'd like to just mention that we had some sad news of one of our South Australian football legends passing, and of course we would like to dedicate today's show to Nick Pantelis, and it is a sad loss for our football. But right now it's time to meet our panel for tonight. 2 familiar faces that we've got. One who has made huge contributions to the game and still contributing, and one who's currently in form and finding the back of the net regularly. So we hope we don't put a curse on him because we've been good luck for him lately. So now they're both sitting in the hot seat tonight because I couldn't differentiate between the two. To my close left is Mr. Donald Campbell, OAM AM from 88.7 Coast FM talking football, and to his far left is Mr. Simon Catanzaro from Campbelltown City Red Devils, also a guest on talking football, and they're both guests of ours tonight. Welcome to Full On Football, guys.
Thank you, Nat. It's been a pleasure in between 2 well-known celebrities. Superstar and a goal scorer extraordinary.
Oh, you know how to put it on, don't you? Simon, thanks for coming on as well.
Thanks, Nat. And I just want to say I send my condolences out to the Pantelis family too. Pretty good mates with Lucas. I played with him and against him over the years, so condolences not just from me but Campbelltown City Soccer Club. So.
Yeah, it was a very, very sad time, and we're going to speak about that a little bit later on. So our condolences go to the whole Pantelis family as well. Now, Donald, you were our guest back on show number 3. That's almost 2 months ago now. I'd like to know, during that time, I've heard you were overseas, you were sort of rushing around a bit, were you?
Yes, I certainly was, Natalie, because as you know, I support Glasgow Rangers Football Club, and I've always been a supporter for the last 50 odd years, and they made the final of the UEFA Cup, which is a pretty rare occasion for us to do, and I said to my son Graham, if we make the final we'll go to Manchester. That was at the beginning, of course. Who's to know that we're going to beat all these well-known teams? We played 18 games in the competition. We managed to get to the final, and I got an SMS the day they beat Fiorentina. It was my son Graham, and he said, Dad, pack your bag, we're going to Manchester. So a couple of weeks ago, the week of the game, we left on the Monday night, and we got back to Adelaide on the Sunday. In between times we went to Manchester, caught the game, caught with a lot of great players I used to know, Richard Gough, Terry Butcher and people like that. I met all of them again. It was fantastic. And then we got a look around Manchester United's Old Trafford, we got a look around Chelsea's ground, and it was everything was fantastic, and we even went on the London Eye, so it was a great time.
Yeah, great.
But very tiring, I would have to say.
Now, Simon, since you've been on the show, you've been on the score sheet of late, as I mentioned, and you've got another partner in crime, Jason Trimboli. The two of you are creating quite a bit of havoc, and you're both scoring frequently. Not to mention the last couple of games have been fantastic. Yeah,
I've been lucky to be on the end of some good team play. We're slowly picking up the pieces again after a rough couple of weeks, and hopefully we can continue on into the semi-finals at the end of the year.
Well, good stuff now, guys. Of course, this is the Super League segment. We're going to have a look at... actually, just before we do have a look at the results, Donald, what's your general overview of so far this season 2008?
I think the Super League in particular has been a big improvement. I think last year Adelaide City were absolutely outstanding and virtually run away with the league. I think this year's been a big, even other clubs are starting to steal points off them. They're playing good football, scoring goals, and I think it's been probably, it looks like it might finish a tremendous season. And of course we all know there's going to be a top 5 playoff, so the first thing all clubs have to do is get into the top 5. Once they get into the top 5, they've got an even chance in winning the competition. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. In the second division, the Premier League, it's unbelievable. It's a great competition there, and I think you've got any one of 7 clubs or 8 clubs could be in line for promotion. Then you've got the third division at the State League. I think 2 or 3 teams are looking pretty good, but the first 2 divisions, absolutely unbelievably good.
Now, Simon, from your perspective, players' perspective, of course, as you mentioned, your club's picked up over the last 3 games.
Yep.
What's your overall general view about the season this year?
Oh, look, Adelaide City have just picked up where they left off the last couple of years, and I think the ladder's, pretty self-explanatory. Metro Stars have picked up some pretty good players, or some very good players, and probably deserve to be on top with the quality of players they've got and the results they've got. The clubs behind, there's probably 5 or 6 clubs just behind, or pretty much the rest of the clubs. We're all sort of trying to pick up the pieces and chase them, and I think it might suit a few clubs just below Metro Stars and Adelaide City the way it's sort of panned out at the time being.
Highlight for you so far?
I haven't really had a highlight from our league, but I think I think like Donald said, it's been a very competitive league, the Super League, as have all the 3 leagues, as the results have told. But probably if I was to say there has been a highlight, I'd have to say definitely the competitiveness of every game. It's been very tight, and all the teams are sort of shaping up pretty well against each other.
And Donald, for you, highlight?
I think the highlights have been the tightness of the competition, and nobody's running away with it. And I think Adelaide City, although they've been outstanding for many years, I think they've got a real challenge this year. And Damien Morey, what can you say about Damien Morey? It hasn't been said before. While he plays for Adelaide City, they'll always be up at the top. But Campbelltown, Blue Eagles, and a number of other clubs are really chasing them, and I think it's going to be a fantastic climax to the season when it finishes.
I'll tell you what I'll say about Damien Morey. He's the X factor, that's for sure. Unbelievable guy. Guys, let's have a look at the results from round 9 of the Super League. And we had Metro Stars defeating Modbury Jets 4-0. Scotty Tunbridge scoring a brace. He's doing fantastically. I think he's still top of the goal scorers at the moment. Menakella and Spagnolo scoring as well. Para Hills Knights 3, Adelaide Galaxy 0. That was the night game. Milady scoring the hat-trick there, and Milady back to his best, I think, in that game. It was brilliant to watch. White City 1, Campbelltown City 3. Saranti Perizos scoring a penalty and then getting sent off. And Simon, yourself scoring. Nathan, I've heard, fantastic goal he scored. And a name you don't see often, Paul Savio scoring, unbelievable.
Can I just say that was celebration of the year 2, Paul Savio. It's his first ever goal, so it was it was a fantastic.
I'll chat to you in a moment about how that game went, because I got a report on it. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Of course, the Monday night game, Adelaide City 4, Raiders 3. That was an unbelievable match. Raiders were 2-0 up. It got to 2-2, then Raiders scored another goal, 2-3, and then Adelaide City came away with the win. Morey, the hat-trick, as I said, X-factor there. Freddie Age is creating havoc in the midfield. Osama Malik doing really well, scoring a brace, and Scotty Morrison, defender there for Raiders. And of course, the other game that we were at was Adelaide Blue Eagles 3, Croydon 0, with Forte and Campbell scoring, both having very, very good games. And of course, the first goal being scored, an own goal by Yanni Saris, which was a brilliant goal. Absolutely brilliant. Now, Donald, you were at that game, and while we talk, we've got some footage that we actually took at the game. What did you think of the game?
Well, I think 3-0 flattered Blue Eagles. I think it was a lot closer contest than that, and I think in the first half, Croydon were well and truly in the game, missed a couple of red-hot sitters, and if they'd have scored 2 goals, possibly even 3 goals, it could have been 3-0 by half-time. But full marks to the Blue Eagles. They fought back, took their chances, and then in the end they deserved a 3-0 victory. But Croydon, look, they're a very, very good side, well organised, but you can't give away slack goals, and Yanni Saris gave away a silly goal when it was 0-0, and that was a deciding factor for me. The whole game changed from that, and I think Blue Eagles, as I said, full marks to Pat DeVito. What he said to them at half time obviously G'd them up. They got those crucial other 2 goals, and run out comfortable winners, 3 goals to 0.